Hi friends, I'm Shiva. Today we are going to discuss about page object model. It's a continuation of the previous video, and in previously I have discussed about how to explain automation framework during interview and that normal way of implementing page object model. If you have any doubt on page object model and how to implement using normal way, you can now watch the previous video. So now I'm going to focus on how to implement page object model using page factory. Okay, see, basically what we are going to do is we are going to use TestNG to implement page object model with page factory. Okay, so for that we are going to use @find by annotation, as well as there is a method called page factory dot init elements. So these two things I am going to use while implementing page object model with page factory. Okay, while implementing I will show you what is the use of these two things. Now see, what I'm going to do is this is the page I'm going to automate. Now you can able to see the text box. Here I'm going to write that email ID, and for example I'm going to click this, and once I click that create account button, it will show the next page. Here you can able to see the registration page, and I want to validate this page whether I got the correct page or not. So this is the way I am going to implement the validation of this registration page. Okay, now just I will open the Eclipse. I am going to create one new project, file new, then Java project, and I am going to give POM with page factory. Folks, also here I want to add one more point. I am focusing only on interview based questions now. After we will discuss about how to start Selenium from the scratch. Okay, first I am going to focus only on interview based questions. Now already in the previous video I have explained about page object model. So initially we need two packages. One is pages, so another one is test, because we are going to segregate page objects with the test scripts. So I have created now two packages, and here the structure is same but the implementation is different. That what is the different I will show you now. Here I am going to create one class, for example that name is just I will give you login page. Shall we give registration page? Sorry. So here just you will click on finish. So now what I am going to do is I am going to locate those elements. Okay, so now there are two elements are there. One is text box and one is one button. Okay, just you can inspect that element, and here just right click, copy XPath, so that @find by annotation. So page factory will give you one annotation called @find by. So before we need to do one thing, we have to configure Selenium and TestNG. So properties, add external jars. First we will include Selenium, then we will include TestNG. So these three files are required. Just input it, and you can apply and close @find by. Then here you can write XPath equal to, so here you can write XPath ID name, whatever you can able to give here. XPath equal to, here I will write web element. So here I am going to give this email ID. See, basically this is the syntax of at find by annotation. So here I will give the copied XPath. Okay, now the use of find by. So here I am not written anything web element equal to driver dot find element by dot XPath. So not at all required. So now that element will be located and that element name is email ID. So now it is reducing the lines, right? Fine. So now the second element, just I will right click and inspect, and I will copy the element, and here at find by XPath equal to here web element. The button name is button create account. Okay, so here you can write. So now I have located the element. Now I want to click this button. Before I want to enter the value to this text box, and I need to click this button. So I am going to write one method, public boolean, just I am going to return true or false something. So here validate registration page. So here I am going to receive string, here I will write some title and driver. Okay, so here just I will write a return false. Driver, then you can write driver. Now you can import that driver over here. It's a little bit slow. Okay, now I can import. Fine. So here, so important part, one important part is there. So before I will show you email ID dot send keys. Here I will write some unused email ID. So here email123 at aaa.com. Okay, and now I want to click that, right? btn create account dot click. Okay, so now I have one question over here. The question is how I can initialize those elements. So this is the question now. Now in this page contains lot of objects. Now how I can initialize these elements? See, what for initializing that method, initializing those elements, we are going to write one constructor or whatever, because constructor is the right way to do that. So I will write one constructor. I'll call the class name. You can put it over there. Here you can write driver. Okay, so here I am going to apply my page factory dot init elements. So now driver contains the hold of the page and this. Now what will happen when you create the object for the registration page? Now these elements will be initialized automatically, so that you no need to that locate the element again and again. So once you create the object for the particular class, these elements will be loaded automatically. So wherever you want, you can able to use directly like this. So this is the use of page factory. Then initialize the elements, driver, then this means the current object, means the current class. The current class is your registration page. Okay, so now once I click that button, it will goes to, for example, I will give some value over here and I will click this create account button. I'll close this window now. It will comes to this page. I want to validate. Okay, so now string current title equal to driver dot get title. So now this method will return the title of the page. Okay, so now I will write one if condition over here. If my current title is equal to received title, then I will return true. Otherwise, by default it will return false from the below statement. It won't come to this block. Okay, so my first part is over. Now I need to write test method. Okay, so now this test package, I am going to create one new class, new, then class name. So I will write here, I will write registration which tests. Small correction over here. I wanted to change the class name over here because it must be pages. Okay, just I will refactor, then rename. I wanted to make registration pages. Just next, finish. Okay, we had created any problem over here? Alright, good. So now we good to go. Here we can write by default I'm going to give web driver and I'm going to create object for the my okay it's registration pages and I'm going to give object name as page. Fine. So now you can import the WebDriver for this page. So you heard about before test. So I'm going to use at before test annotation. Here public void setup. In this method I'm going to set up my browser things. So as I told, I'm going to focus only on interview perspective, so I will set up over here. First thing is system dot set property. So spelling mistake is there. System dot set property. Here that location of web driver dot chrome dot driver. Right, now you can write the location of your driver where it has located. So I think it is there in E drive. Just I will copy the location of my driver here, just copy it, put it over here .exe. So one step is over. Then what is second step? Now driver equal to new Chrome driver of. So as of now I'm going to use Chrome driver. Then I want to open the page, so driver.get. So here you can go to the our page. It will come now. You just copy the link and you put it over there. Then driver dot manage dot window dot maximum, so that window will be maximized. Then you can call that method now. So I'll create an object for the page equal to new registration page of. Now what will happen, whatever the elements we have located, so now this constructor will be called automatically. So when you create this object, now this constructor will be called. Once the constructor will be called, now this element page factor int elements will initialize these two elements. Now these two elements are ready. Okay, so now I will write one test method at test. Here you can write a public void. Just I will write a validate registration page. Now you can import the test annotation. So these are the annotations are available in TestNG. So now you can call page dot validate registration page. So now this method will return. So before we need to do one thing. So string title equal to, because we need to send the title so that it can validate over there. So where the title will be, so just I will give one email ID to go to that page. Just click on this create an account button and it will go to this page. So you can see the view page source, so that you can get the title of that page. Yes, it came now. You just copy this, and you put it over here, so that value will goes to, let us copy that. Let us copy it now. This method will return one boolean value, right? So I want to return that result. Here I am going to asset it. Asset dot asset true it must be, because we are returning the value, right? So asset dot asset true. So boolean condition will be there in result. Now it will validate. Fine, our job is over. We will execute this whether it is working or not. Run as TestNG test. Hope it is launching the browser now. Yes, it has launched. We'll check whether it is working properly or not. Yes, it is now going to that our login page. It's taking a lot of time. Yes, it has launched, maximized. Yes, the values are typing there. .com. It's very slow. Yes, now it's clicking that button. It's came now. Hope it has validate that page. I'll check it now. Check the results. Yes, our test case passed. Fine. Okay, now you may have one doubt. What's the difference between normal page object model and page object model with page factory? See, basically when we talk about page factory, there are two drawbacks. The one is you cannot store these exports in object repositories. So you cannot read these exports from any external sources. Like sometime we can store some static exports in database or Excel files or property files. So it's not possible, it cannot read. The second thing is, if there is a dynamic element like dynamic exports or dynamic table, so those kind of situations, if you want to read bulk of data, you need to write customized export based on your requirement. So those kind of situations also you cannot use the page factory. So those kind of situations you can go with the normal way. So here the benefit of using export is this page factory is, that minimizing the code and more reusability. Again, no need to find that element again and again. It's a common benefit of using page object model, right? Okay, good. I hope you have understand the how to implement this using page object model with page factory. So if you need any help on page object model, you can go through the previous video. That next video I am going to cover how to read tables using Selenium. And thank you all. And if you like this video, you just like, or if you can subscribe for more videos. Thanks a lot.